Hear the drum beats. Hear the heartbeats. Prepare now for our Kwanzaa celebration 2021. Thailand Talia, you're now wearing your listening cloths. So I want you to learn as much as you can as we talk about Kwanzaa. We are going to be reading the book by A.P. Porter called Kwanzaa. You ready? At the beginning of Kwanzaa, you will hear this call, Habari Gani. It means, what's the news? And so we're going to learn to say that word. Can you say the word Habari Gani?
Habari Gani.
Good. During the 7 days of Kwanzaa, this celebration is an official greeting. And Habari Gani, which is Swahili, that means what's the news, is the proper response to that is whatever the day of the week is. And we're going to talk about those days. Okay. Kwanzaa is from the Swahili term Matunde ya Kwanza, which means first fruits. Kwanzaa is based on African harvest celebrations. Kwanzaa is an African American and Pan-African holiday that celebrates family, community, and culture. It was created in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga, a professor of Africana Studies. Kwanzaa is a 7-day cultural festival, and it begins with December 26 and ends January 1, New Year's Day. It joins community values and practices of the continental Africa, that means people who are from the continent of Africa, and African American cultures, that people who live in other places who have their roots in Africa. During the celebration, families and communities organize their activities around the Nguzo Saba. And the Nguzo Saba are the 7 principles. And so I'd like to show that to you. The 7 principles are Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kuumba, and Imani. We will learn about each one of those for each day of the 7 days that we are going to celebrate Kwanzaa. The participants celebrate with feasts called the Karamu, with a day of dancing and music and poetry. They celebrate with feast, and the celebration is dedicated to reflection. That means to think back on things and consider what your life has been like, and then decide that you're going to do a better job and recommit yourself to important things that we need to learn. For each day of Kwanzaa, the family lights a candle, like those there. The black one in the center is lit on the first night and is lit by a child. So one of you will light the first candle at our home. The 3 official colors are taken from the work of Marcus Garvey, and he's decided that the green stands for fertility. That means something, the earth can grow things very well. And then the red stands for the bloodshed. Sometimes people had to fight for freedom, and so that's what the red stands for. And the black is for the skin color of those of our brothers and sisters who came from Africa. There are some symbols that go with the Kwanzaa celebration, and I'd like to show you what those symbols are now. This word is Mazau. It means first fruits and vegetables. As you see on the table, that's set for Kwanzaa. The mkeka is the mat. It is the straw mat, and it's called the foundation upon which everything about Kwanzaa is built. The kinara, which is the candle holder, it holds all 7 candles during the week of Kwanzaa. The unity cup, the Kikumba Cha Umoja, isn't that a funny name? Yes, but it is a very special tool used for Kwanzaa, and we'll talk about that later during the week. Then you have the 7 candles called the Masuma Saba. These are the 7 candles. And then there are gifts that are given to the children, and especially one child who's done a very good job during the year, and those gifts are called zawadi. At the end of each day, you'll hear somebody say, Harambe. And that's the close for, let's pull together. That means we're going to work together as a community. You know, like sometimes when you help Tyler with his homework, and sometimes I help Tyler with his homework, sometimes I help you. That's the community pulling together. The principles of Kwanzaa and the message of Kwanzaa has a universal tone for all people of goodwill. Goodwill means you're going to be kind to one another. It is rooted in African culture, and we speak as Africans must speak, not just to ourselves, but to the world. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday or celebration. It is a celebration that's open to anyone who wishes to do so. It is not meant as an alternative for Christmas. That means it doesn't take the place of Christmas. It is the remembrance of Jesus' birth. That's what Christmas is. But Kwanzaa is a celebration that helps the community grow and learn together. One last thing. Look at that. What do you think that is? What is it?
A bird.
A bird. This is called the Sankofa bird. Say Sankofa.
Sankofa Bird.
Okay. The bird, it comes from the Akan tribe that live in Ghana in Africa, and the translation says, it is not taboo to feed what is at risk of being left behind. San means return, go, and fa, Sankofa bird. The Sankofa bird symbolizes the Akan people's quest for knowledge, with the implication that the quest is based on critical examination of yourself, intelligent and patient investigation of your community and your skills and your culture. In other words, the Sankofa translates to gathering good lessons learned in our past and using them to achieve future goals. Consider the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. It's a guideline towards developing focused family and community effort. You're invited to celebrate Kwanzaa.
The first principle is Umoja, celebrated on December 26th and represented by the black candle. Umoja simply means unity. Umoja is the foundation of all 7 principles. It is not simply being together. Umoja supports harmonious living and acting in unison with ourselves and those around us. Umoja is important because as one, we are powerful, but when we come together as a whole, we are unstoppable. We practice Umoja by coming together for the betterment of our kind, such as the Black Lives Matter movement, the New Black Wall Street in Atlanta, or like one of my favorites, Pastor Errol K. Domain, with Making Divine Connections, connecting people to God and people to people. Umoja, unity.